Hey, welcome to Tales from the Troll Hole. I'm your host, Cecil B., and together we're going to dive deep into the internet and find what stories there are to be read, enjoyed, laughed at, cried with, you name it. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. Now grab your torch and pitchfork. Let's dive into this troll hole. Well, here we are again. Tales from the Troll Hole. I took a week off for the holiday, which was super fun. I love the end of the year. It is just terrific. I love the holiday season. I love the solstice. I love New Year's, and my birthday's around this time of year. It is a really energetic, lively time, and then it resets for a whole new year. It's like ending with a big bang, you know, and then you start the brand new year fresh and new. I love it. I hope you had a nice, refreshing holiday with friends, family, loved ones, pets, or maybe just you. Not just you, but, you know, without anybody else. And I still hope you had a wonderful, beautiful time. People underestimate the power of alone time. I'm an extroverted introvert, and so is my husband. So we both enjoy just being in our space and taking our alone time, because we can have alone time together. That's just how it works when you have two introverts that are in a relationship. But I will say, after New Year's, though, comes the long blah. There's really not a whole lot that goes on until, of course, February for Valentine's Day, if you celebrate such a thing. I don't really. Oh, don't forget President's Day. But yeah, nothing really till Easter, and I don't really do Easter either. So I guess Juneteenth is the next one, the next holiday that is like fun, you know, and is awesome. And then 4th of July, and although I don't really like 4th of July, man, it's just the big blah until Juneteenth, and then it's fun, and then you wait till Halloween again. But you know what? I'm here to have a good time, so we're going to think happy thoughts. We're still in the fun time. There's no need to be upset about the lack of fun holidays from January until June. In fact, I'm here to have such a fun time that today's topic is me reading one-liner jokes that I find from the internet. And maybe a couple other things. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling towards the end of the episode. I've got a couple other tricks up my sleeve here. But let's just have an appreciative moment for the one-liner joke. It is compact. It is neat. It is tidy. It is the minimalist joy of comedy. It's terrific. Most of the time they're groaners, but I think that groaners have their place and they're needed. Because most of the time for me, when I groan at a joke, it's because I'm upset that I didn't think of the punchline because it's so obviously right there. I don't think I've ever groaned at a joke being like, oh boy, was that a waste of my time? Because that sounds like a bah humbug sort of attitude. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about a, oh boy, look at the wonder and joy of the universe type of an attitude. So I appreciate it a lot. I also just remembered that I have to stitch a hole in a sweater. But I don't want to do it now, but I wanted to say it out loud because I know I'm going to listen to this. Because I listened to it before I publish it. So future me, fix that sweater. Thank you. Okay, so the one-liner joke, tidy, neat, wonderful. It reminds me of, Mitch Hedberg, master. Stephen Wright, a master. I'm sure there are others, but those are the first two that I think of immediately. I just listened to the episode of Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, in fact, where Stephen Wright was the guest, and that was wonderful. He's really a cool guy who's done a lot of interesting stuff, so you should listen to that if you haven't already. All right, let's get into some joke skis. Here we go. Okay, for these ones, because I'm going to read so many of them, I'm not going to read the usernames, but if you find these threads, all the usernames are there. So here's the first one. I have an inferiority complex, but it's not a very good one. That's also good because it's self-deprecating. Fantastic. The comment below it says, people tell me I'm condescending. That means I talk down to people. That one sounds like something you'd see on like a cheesy like black t-shirt with white lettering that you'd find in like a t-shirt shop by the beach on vacation or something. You know, one of those souvenir t-shirts that doesn't really mean anything. Okay. Next is, I saw a sign that said, watch for children. And I thought, that sounds like a fair trade. A man walked into his house and was delighted when he discovered that someone had stolen all of his lamps. Oh, wow, that's good. Delighted. Oh, that's my favorite one so far. Okay. A girl walks into a bar and asks the bartender for a double entendre, so he gave it to her. That one is so good that I am upset. That is so good. Ugh. Makes me sick. It's hard to explain puns to kleptomaniacs because they always take things literally. Wow. I can't believe I've never looked this up before, this particular Reddit thread. I can't believe I've never done this. Everybody is so fucking smart and funny. Ugh. Okay. Am I the only one who realizes that blackboards are truly remarkable? Man, that's good. I feel like it would also work with whiteboards, I think. But that's still pretty good. I haven't slept for 10 days because that would be too long. That's really funny. Okay. I was so surprised when the stationery store moved. Gosh. Oh, this is a good one. This is very sciencey. Okay. A neutrino walks through a bar. Oh, wow. Okay, this is one, I've seen this one in memes before. I don't know who said it originally, but what if soy milk is just regular milk introducing itself in Spanish? Oh, side note, I'm trying to learn Spanish now. It's pretty fun. I like it. I think it's great. I just think it's a good skill to have. There's a lot of people in the world that speak Spanish, so I think I should learn how to do it. So far, I can say that I am drinking water, or I drink water. Yo bebes agua. Muy importante. Okay, this is really good because there's an edit that makes the joke even better. Parallel lines have so much in common, but it's a shame they'll never meet. So that's good. That's nice. And then the edit says, I'm being downvoted. Must be because this is really more of a 2-line joke. Because of the parallel lines. That is so fucking smart. I hope that person is very happy with themselves because I'm happy with them, for them. Great. Okay, this one is from the movie The Joker, and I only know that because I just watched that movie. Turns out it's a good one. Okay. They all laughed when I said I wanted to be a comedian. Well, they're not laughing now. Oh boy. That line was so good. So sad and so good and so funny. Quick tangent on The Joker. How was that first movie so good and the second one so bad? I watched the second one first. Why did I do that? I don't understand. I watched the second one and I knew that the first one was Academy Award winning. It was amazing. Joaquin Phoenix knocked it out of the park. But then I started with the second one because I was like, oh, they made a second one. That's great. So let's see what that's all about. I love Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix doing a great job. Wonderful. And it was one of the most confusing and annoying experiences I have ever had watching a movie. One of the top of the bottom of the list. So one of the worst movies I've ever seen, basically. But then I went back and watched the first one, and it almost made it even better. But then I was even more mad that the second one got so fucked up. I don't know. It was crazy. But anyway, that one-liner in the movie was really, really layered and complex and yet so simple. It was masterfully done. Back on track here. Here's another little joke. I, for one, like Roman numerals. Oh boy. Oh, here's another one. Okay, right in the same thread. A Roman legionnaire walks into a bar, holds up 2 fingers, and says, 5 beers, please. Oh, that's great. There's no I in denial. Oh, man. That's great. Working in a mirror factory is something I can totally see myself doing. You know, I do have to say, this is probably very self-serving podcast episode. I don't blame you if you're not listening to this, millions, billions of people out there. But I'm having a great time. What's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bike and a poorly dressed man on a unicycle? Attire. A magician was going down the road and turned into a driveway. That one's subtle. I like that. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. This is so good, this one. Exaggerations went up by 1,000,000% last year. That is so good. It's so simple. God. Why is it always the simple things that are the best? Maybe not always, but in this case, yes. I suppose that was some hyperbole for you. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. That's one of my favorite ones. I love that one. Now we're going to change gears just a little bit, and we're going to talk about on this day in history, because I think that sounds really cool. I love history. On December 26th is the day I'm recording and hopefully releasing this. The Exorcist was released in theaters, which I think was pretty cool. I read the book, and the book was actually pretty scary, but the movie, I didn't think it was, I don't know, maybe it's just that the effects have aged poorly, but the book was pretty scary, I'll tell you that right now. And I'm sure we've all heard about the theory that the film set of that movie was cursed when they filmed it because so many horrible things happened. Maybe I'll have to do a separate episode on cursed movie sets. And, maybe cursed Broadway plays and haunted theaters. This is great. I gotta write these down. In 1966, on December 25th, Jimi Hendrix wrote the song Purple Haze backstage at the Uppercut Club in London. That's pretty cool. Oh, and would you look at that? Phil Spector's birthday is today. So is Calico Jack and Kit Harington. That's pretty cool. So many Day After Christmas bebés. Also, it looks like in 1854, on December 26th, wood pulp paper was first exhibited. What was it before? I don't know. I need to learn stuff. Here's another one. Okay, in 1865, on December 26th, James H. Mason patents the first U.S. coffee percolator. That's great. If there's one thing I can get behind, it's hot bean water. That stuff is so good. Really gets you rootin' and tootin' and scooting around. In 1872, December 26th had the 4th largest snowfall in New York City history at 18 inches. That's a lot of fucking snow. Finally, today, ending the short episode, we're going to do a fun fact about a frog, because frogs are ridiculous, are they not? I don't understand them. They start out as water egg, a wet egg, and then they become this little fish thing, and then all of a sudden they got legs and hands, and they're just still cruising around, getting all strong, and then their tail just disappears, and now they're just hopping around being weird, eating bugs, being all slimy and cold and strong in the leg. I don't understand it. I respect the fuck out of those little guys, but I don't get it. And in the winter, they just hide in the mud and are like permafrozen, and then they wake up later when they just thaw out. What is this world? And what is a frog, though, really? I don't understand. So we're going to do some frog facts. The things that I just said are not the frog facts. That's just me having a little froggy freak out about how cool they are. So here come 3 frog facts for today. And these facts are coming directly from the American Museum of Natural History website. There is evidence that frogs have roamed the earth for more than 200 million years, at least as long as the dinosaurs. That's incredible. I don't know when I thought frogs arrived, but I was willing to wager a small amount that it would have been in the 40s in Area 51. 200 million years they have been frogging around like nobody's biz. Absolutely wild. Frogs have excellent night vision and are very sensitive to movement. The bulging eyes of frogs allow them to see in front, to the sides, and partially behind them. When a frog swallows food, it pulls its eyes down into the roof of its mouth to help push the food down its throat. Get the fuck out of town. I did not know that. Its eyeballs are shoving the food down its throat? Okay, here's the last one. Frogs were the first land animals with vocal cords. What? Male frogs have vocal sacs that are pouches of skin that fill with air. These balloons resonate sounds like a megaphone, and some frog sounds can be heard from a mile away. Okay, so let me get this straight. They've been here for 200 million years. They eat with their eyeballs, and they can scream at you from a mile away? Hello? That's insane. Pardon the word. But I am feeling pretty alarmed in an educational way. And that's not even the iceberg, the tip of it. That's nowhere near it. That's just a small, chilly current that flows off of the iceberg. I'm getting some vocal fry because I am so entranced by this knowledge. There's so much to learn. There's so much to know. I think I'm going to continue doing frog facts at the end of episodes, and unless I forget, and then hopefully I'll remember again someday. Speaking of forgetting, once again, future me, fix that sweater, because I know that you remembered it while you listened to this and then you forgot again until now. Do it. Well, I think that's where we're going to leave it today. I have to go think about frogs and stitch that sweater, apparently. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And my request for you is that you have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever you're doing. Have a nice time with it, because we only get one go around. And I'm hoping that you can find the silver lining in the challenging days. And if you can't find it, make it, you know? All right. I will see you next time. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next time, but I know for sure there's going to be frog facts. All right. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Tales from the Troll Hole. I'm your host, Cecil B., and this show is produced by me. Our theme song is by Vervex. They're a great band. You should give them a listen. You can stream them anywhere. They're also on TikTok and Instagram. Remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on a single episode. And also find us on Instagram, and then you can send in your own stories. I just ask that they're true and that they're not going to scar somebody for life. You know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.